Are you kidding me, guys? So for any of you guys that want to be YouTubers, you can do it. I am a prime example. I just realized after 19 minutes that my mic was muted. Oh my goodness. You guys are troopers, man. Look at all of these people typing in C's. You know, the funny thing is too, is I've got this screen here where I can see all of your comments, and I didn't see any of the no sounds. I just noticed in peripheral vision that you guys were talking. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. I ain't got time to go over everything that it just went over in the last 20 minutes. Unbelievable. It almost makes me want to just turn off the live stream and start over tomorrow. But holy smokes, we got, you know, our Tuesday Trader live stream tomorrow. We got our microcap gem on Wednesday. So I am just going to have to start over. I'm going to try to give you guys the condensed version. Oh my God. But seriously, here I am. I've been doing this now for 4 years, and I still do stupid stuff like forget to unmute my mic. It's crazy. It's one of the things, this new intro that I have automatically mutes my mic. And I swear when I went in and right before it was getting ready to turn off, I thought I had unmuted my mic. But this is a lesson. I won't do that again. I guarantee you from now on, I'll be looking over there and making sure that my mic is unmuted. So now I got to try to remember what I said in the beginning. I can't believe you guys put up with me. You do, though. You do put up with me, and thank you. I appreciate that. God bless you guys. So what I was saying is, man, it really is. If any of you have ever done a talk, to go right from like 20 minutes into it and be full blown right into the points that you're making, and then to have to try to stop, gather yourself, and then go back to the beginning and your initial thoughts that led you into the rest of it can be a little bit of a daunting task. So trying to figure out the best way to start this. So I'm just going to kind of start all the way over. It might be a little discombobulated, but the whole message of this video, and I believe the video is titled, "Is It Your Time to Win?" And one of the first things that I said was, I hope that if you were asked that question, that you would say, yes, it is my time to win. And if you're not saying, yes, it's my time to win, then I'm glad you're here. And if you are saying, yes, it is my time to win, my second question for you is, if you knew success was just right knocking on your doorstep, like it literally could be later today that the market decides to just explode and start heading up. Maybe it's a week, maybe it's a month, maybe it's 3 months, but you know for sure it's going to happen. You believe 100% you are on the verge of success. Would you do anything differently than what you're already doing? And I hope for most of you that the answer is no. Brad, I would just keep doing what I've been doing. But the fact of the matter is, I know that 19 out of 20 people, that's not the truth. Because long-term statistics have proven that only about 5% of the population is going to become financially successful, financially independent, and really have a good life financially. 95% of the population basically lives paycheck to paycheck and is struggling to a certain extent. So that shows me that 19 out of 20 people ain't making it the way that they need to financially. And most of the time that comes down to they're not doing the right things. And what's crazy though is people, when they get really, really close to success, they will all of a sudden start doing the right things. It does. It happens all the time where somebody is not doing any of the right things, and then all of a sudden Bitcoin's $250,000 and they start doing the right thing. But folks, I'm here to tell you, doing the right thing at the wrong time is not going to get you to the success that you want to have. You got to do the right thing at the right time. And so I'm going to go back into my analogy. What I was talking about for the last 15 or 20 minutes is the farming analogy. Folks, we all realize that we have 4 seasons, and that if you're a farmer, depending on the type of crop that you're trying to get, your season might be slightly different. But for most, you know, they got to fertilize and plow and dig up the land, take the hard, crusty surface of the earth and grind that up and make it soft. And, you know, add a little topsoil, add a little fertilizer. They got to prepare the soil for the planting of the seed. And folks, that's what these Monday crypto mindset masteries are all about, is softening up your mind and getting it ready and fertile for the seed so that you can plant the seed of the cryptocurrency investing and doing the right things in life that are going to take you through to success. But folks, I'm glad that you're here, but you also have to be careful. Like if you're a farmer and you skip working in the fall and in the winter and in the springtime, and then you run out to your field in the summertime expecting a crop to be there, then you're delusional. Like people get sent to the insane asylum for that. That'd be crazy. Could you imagine going to your family and saying, hey, I'm going to be a farmer, but I'm not going to work in autumn, or I'm not going to work in fall. I'm not going to work in winter. Maybe I'll work a little bit in spring, but not really. I'm going to take spring off mostly too. And then I'm going to work real hard in the summertime. Your family would tell you that you were crazy. Well, folks, God has a rhythm. The seasons for farming are very similar to the seasons in our life. And what's interesting is everybody is going to have a hard life. You just have to choose your hard. You can choose hard in the beginning and then easy at the end, or you can choose easy in the beginning and end up with hard at the end. And this, I've got this pulled up here. It's out of a book called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. And I mean, it seems pretty simple, right? But basically his philosophy and the whole book is based on the premise that success and failure come down to a few little decisions, a few little choices, daily decisions that are easy to do, easy not to do. Is it easy to wake up in the morning and brush your teeth? Absolutely. Is it easy to get up and be in a hurry and forget to brush your teeth? Absolutely. If you brush your teeth, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to have a healthy mouth and healthy teeth for a long time. But, and I love this part of the story and his example, if you don't brush your teeth, do they fall out tomorrow? No. Are they brown and dingy and ugly tomorrow? No. Do you have cavities tomorrow? No. Seemingly, even after a month or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, the person that brushed their teeth and the person that didn't brush their teeth seemingly still seem to have the same teeth. But what's going to happen? We all know a year, 2, 5 down the road, the first guy is still going to have healthy set of teeth, a healthy mouth. The second guy is going to be going to the dentist and be having some problems. You know, it's the same thing with your diet. If you go and enjoy yourself a Big Mac and a large fry and a Coke today, and I go eat, you know, a nice healthy chicken breast salad, are either one of us more healthy or less healthy than the other one? No, especially on the surface. Like there's no difference. You're not going to notice any difference. But over the course of months and years, the guy that's eating those Big Macs and fries versus the guy that's eating the chicken breast salad, will there be a difference? Absolutely. The guy that's been eating the McDonald's is going to end up, you know, obese and overweight and out of shape and potentially more likely for cancer and all sorts of other diseases. And the guy that ate healthy is probably going to have the easier life later. So right now in the moment, it's hard to choose the chicken breast salad over the McDonald's for some people. But later on down the road, you know, you once again choose your easy and then choose your hard. Most people choose easy in the beginning of their life and they end up with hard at the end. Well, it's the same thing with your cryptocurrency investing. So many people choose easy, and easy is just, you know, setting up a Coinbase account and buying some crypto like throwing darts at a dartboard and just spraying their money around hoping that they're going to hit something and become successful. You realize how many cryptocurrency investors are not doing the work? You realize how many people have bought crypto that have watched almost no educational videos? I still have guys, my own brother-in-law has been around me since I started crypto, and he just finally figured out how to send money from one wallet to another wallet 8-9 years later. You know, and every time he asked me how to do something, I would tell him, hey, go use YouTube search and figure it out. Like I had a guy yesterday ask me, how do I create a Discord account? And I'm like, really? I ended up sending him a YouTube video, but like really, I just wanted to say, are you kidding me? Like in this day of information, the information age, and you've got, you know, Google at your fingertips, you've got YouTube at your fingertips, you're going to ask me? You're like, how do I create a Discord account? Like, I don't like that guy's chances for being successful in crypto. You know, we shall see. But, you know, like most everything that you need to know about being successful as a cryptocurrency investor is out there. You know, you've got guys like me, you've got guys like Crypto Lifer, Sam Price, you've got Frankie Candles out there, you know, you've got Sin City Crypto, you've got Joe Paris, you got, I mean, like it's too many of them to name. You've got Discover Crypto. Like literally one of your toughest decisions should be like, who am I getting the most value from? Because I could watch YouTube videos 27 hours a day and still not listen to all of the great information out there. So you have to pick a few folks. But my point is, life is very much like farming, but most people, they don't process it that way. We're in this society where everybody wants everything now. Like seriously, have you ever been, and I mean, I'm guilty of this, so don't, like, I'm not belittling anybody else or judging anybody else, but have you ever seen somebody, like you've been at work and you've seen somebody using the work microwave and they're like standing right in front of it, like, come on, like they can't wait even 2 or 3 minutes for their cup of noodles to be ready. And I get busy sometimes. I got a lot going on. So there's some times where like even the microwave is a little frustrating for me, but that's not good. And it's, you know, most people think, hey, I'm going to jump into crypto. I'm going to pick a few winners and all of a sudden I'm going to have a lot of money. Or whether it's starting a business, you know, whether it's exercising and getting in shape. You know that one of the biggest reasons that most people never get in shape is because they work out for a month or two and they don't really see any visible results. Guys, it took you years, in some cases decades, to get as out of shape as you are. Why in the world would you expect 2 or 3 months of going to the gym to magically erase a decade of abusing your body? Folks, you have to understand the rhythm and rhyme of life. And God created these seasons, in my opinion, to teach us about life, not just about farming. But anyway, so you go and you fertilize your mind, you fertilize the soil, you plant the seed, and planting the seed is buying the crypto. That's the seed in our farm, is buying cryptocurrencies, investing the money. And there's so many pitfalls there. So many people make the mistake of not investing enough, in not sacrificing. Like folks, if you're not maybe eating out a little bit less, or maybe cutting back on some of your streaming services, or maybe holding off on going and buying that house or that car, going on that vacation, so that you can invest every single asset and resource that you have into these markets, and then delaying your gratification until you have so much money that you can't spend it all, then you want to take a look at that. Now, I'm not saying don't enjoy life in the meantime. I'm not talking about never going out to eat. I'm just talking about, like, maybe if you go out to eat, I probably go out to eat 2-3 times a week. You know, maybe even maybe even more often during some seasons of my life. I've had seasons of my life where I was eating out 4 or 5 times a week, and that's fine. But just cut back 1 or 2. You realize that $100 for a meal out, that if you just cut back 1 a week, that'd be another $100 a week that you can invest. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I love my coffee. And sometimes I look at how much money I spend, you know, on Dutch Bros or Starbucks and stuff, and I think, man, that's crazy. If I had all of the money that I've spent on coffee in the last 5 years, and it was invested into all of the cryptocurrency markets, man, I probably would have enough money invested into cryptocurrency to totally transform my life during this bull run. Isn't that crazy to think about? I was watching a guy the other day that there's this guy that's invested $25 a day into Bitcoin for the last 8 years. And, you know, so figure that out. What is that? $25 a day times, so $10 a day times 365 is $36.50. You double that, and that's another, so $36.50 is $7,300. And then that would be, what is that? I mean, or no, that'd be like, what, about 10 grand a year is $25 a day? I don't know. Why can't I do any math? I mean, I got my phone here. I was trying not to pull it out, but you know, what in the world, what is 25 times 365? Let's see here. Just do it, because I'm usually pretty darn good at math, way better than a lot of people when it comes to doing math in my head, but let's just do it here. So it's $9,125. $750 a month, roughly $25 a day. He's just put $25 a day into Bitcoin, $750 a month for 8 years. So what is that? 9125 times 8. So he's got $73,000 invested over the last 8 years. And I forget the exact number, but I want to say that it's worth I think it was a lot. I don't know, 68 million is the number coming to my mind, but that seems a little high. But let's just say that I know it was 10 million or more, but let's just say even if it was just 5 million. Like, how many of you are willing to set aside $25 a day for the next 8 years if you knew it was going to be worth 5, 10, 15, 20 million? But guess what? Not only will most of you, and me, I haven't done it that consistent, not only will 99.9, like probably 999,000, you know, like 999 people out of 10,000 ain't going to do that. Maybe even it's more like 1 out of 100,000 that does something like that. But guess what? He had to go through, you know, guess what? Year 1, Bitcoin's going down. Year 2, Bitcoin's going down. Year 3, Bitcoin's going down. Now this is where the real fun comes in, and where you got to decide what's most important to you. All of a sudden, year 4, Bitcoin goes crazy, and his 4 grand at that point in time, or his 3 grand that he's got invested, even let's say that at 20x's, 30x's, which back in some of the earlier cycles, Bitcoin did some pretty big things. So now all of a sudden, his 3 grand is worth, let's call it 75 grand. It's 25x. Most people would take their money and go buy a car, buy a house, do something fun, and they still got 5 years left to go. And so your timing is going to be different than everybody else's. But I was just listening to a YouTube channel not long ago. I showed it to you last week, Myron Golden. And the title of it was, "When it's your time to win, you cannot lose." But folks, it's not in our time. It's in God's time. And, you know, whether you believe in God or not, that's not, I mean, I'm not judging, but especially if you're a believer and you keep looking at your bank account balance and you keep looking up at the sky and asking God, like, why is this taking so long? You got to remember it's in God's timing, and his timing is always better than our timing. And once again, folks, I'm talking to myself, because I've found myself looking up at the sky going, when God? Like, I love you guys. I've been fairly transparent. I made a lot of money in cryptocurrency. I've also spent a lot of money, and I also did not cash out anywhere near as much as I should have. So when I say that I've gone through some financial difficulty over the last few years, I've gone through some crazy stuff, guys. And especially, it's really super crazy when you've gone from being somewhat wealthy and really being able to do, like I had more $500, $600, $700, $800 dinners in the last bull market than I probably most people have in their whole life. And I'm not complaining. There's a part of me that wishes I could go back and maybe do things a little bit different. There's also some times that were just absolutely unbelievable. Like my dad, 79 years old, had never gone out and spent that kind of money on dinner. And so I'll never forget, my wife and I were able to take my dad and my mom out to this incredible restaurant, and we spent $500, $600, $700. They had filet mignon and crab legs, and like, it was awesome. And yeah, sometimes I wish I could have some of those $500 bills back, but at the same time, the memories that I created, were amazing. So you want to pick and choose, but I had way too many of those dinners that didn't really serve me as far as creating special memories and really being with the right people and stuff. So my point is when the money starts flowing in, you got your next challenge. So you think that this autumn and winter time are tough, but I'm telling you, when spring comes, what a lot of people do is they're hungry. They're hungry. They haven't ate much in autumn. They haven't ate much in winter. And all of a sudden, these crops start to sprout out, and you got a little bit of a green stem that's maybe, a foot off the ground, and you get hungry. And you pull that plant out of the ground and you eat it. Maybe there's a few little pieces of fruit on it, or, maybe it's created, one or two tomatoes, and you just go to town and you ruin the crop because you ate it too soon. So that's another pitfall, something that you have to stay away from. And then folks, when summertime comes, most people haven't made it. And so all you really have to do to be successful is just not quit. Just don't quit. Just stick with it. Have a plan and stick with it. And so all of a sudden, when summertime comes, everything is amazing. And your crops are plentiful. You've got tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars in the bank, and life is absolutely phenomenal. But guess what, folks? What comes after summer? Winter. And folks, what happens so often is we're not judged by the one crop that we made. You're going to be judged by the accumulative crops and what you accomplish and what you do over the whole course of your life. So even when summertime comes, that's when it's almost one of the most important times for you to be diligent and a good steward of your funds, and to understand that winter is coming. Nobody, I don't care how successful they are, Bill Gates has had winters in his life. I guarantee you that even when Microsoft was taking off and doing well, and all of a sudden he was a billionaire in his life, he still had winters. Maybe it's a different kind of winter. Maybe it's not a financial winter, but it's a health challenge winter. All of a sudden you're sitting on top of the world and you've got plenty of funds, but now something comes into your life, some type of a health challenge, and it might not even be yours. It might be a child's, it might be a spouse's, it might be a parent's. And all of a sudden you're looking back up at the sky going, God, why me? Why? Like, and when is this going to happen? Maybe you've been fighting an illness. Maybe you've been trying to overcome an illness for years now, and you're wondering like, hey, God, what is the deal here? When am I going to get to some summertime? Brad's talking about how summer, there's always a summer. So when is my summer? And I guess once again, like one of my most important points is here on this earth, we know, June, July, and August is going to be our summer. We know that September, October, November going to be our fall. December, January, February going to be our winter. March, April, May going to be our spring. Well, it's not quite like that in life. Yes, you have your seasons and you're going to go from one to another, but folks, but you might have a 10-year winter and then a 3-month summer and then be back into winter again. For other people, if you really do things right, what I've found is that you can shorten and compress the time frame on your winters by doing the right things in life. And then you can also expand and create massive summer times in your life if you're doing all of the right things. But the most important thing is to stay in the game long enough to get to your summer. So for any of you that are like just sick and tired of looking at the crypto markets and wondering when in the world is this thing actually going to do what it's supposed to do, I'm here to give you some hope. I firmly believe with all of my heart that we're in the middle, smack right dab in the middle of springtime, and that summer is coming. So once again, folks, you're here looking at this. What's uncomfortable early becomes comfortable later. What's comfortable early becomes uncomfortable later. Let me see here. What do we got going on here? This gentleman, I write articles and publish them on Hive Blockchain. Anytime I am done listening to you, I'm always motivated and I understand whatever you say in a different and more meaningful way. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, Samuel. I appreciate you being here. And what do we got going on? Greg says, the wife and I have reservations at Hell's Kitchen in April. Would love to have you and the missus join us. Greg, I'll be there, man. Let's get it done. I would love that. I haven't been to Hell's Kitchen for a long time. Just been there one time. But my wife watches the show religiously. She's watched every season, and sometimes she's gone back and watched more seasons. So, man, I would love to meet you and your wife, and my wife and I will definitely be there. April, sounds great. Let's do it. We'll be in touch. So I want to go back to this picture, though, because one of the other things that I think is very, very important about this picture is the people that end up on the upside of this, and the 5% here that have success, their responsibility and discipline and value driven. And what is responsibility? Well, they take responsibility versus blame and neglect. I can tell you unequivocally, if I meet somebody and I'm talking to them and I ask them a question such as, so why haven't you had the success so far in your life that you really believe that you're worthy of? I can guarantee you by the way that they answer that question, I can tell you whether or not they've got success in their future, if they've just got more failure. The person that says, well, my boss did this, my wife cheated on me, I got sick, my parents abused me, my dad was an alcoholic, and you could go on and on and on and on and on and on. If they start giving you a list of the reasons why they're not successful, and none of those reasons are them, they've just got more failure and unhappiness coming their way. So if that's you, this is a wake-up call. You got to take responsibility even when it ain't your fault. Folks, that's so important. That's probably a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. Maybe I'll make that video soon. That'll be the title of it. You got to take responsibility even when it ain't your fault. Folks, if you grew up in an abusive household, that's not your fault. If you grew up with an alcoholic father, that's not your fault. If you grew up in whatever, if you've got a jerk of a horrible boss that treats you like crap and fired you, that's not your fault, but it's your responsibility to deal with it and to overcome it. Yeah, life's not fair. Some people are dealt a better hand, but one of the cool things in poker is that you have the ability to play your hand any way that you want. And folks, I'm telling you, if you're placing blame for your lack of success, even if it's true, it doesn't serve you and it doesn't help you grow and it doesn't get you any closer to success. And folks, you got to start taking responsibility. So for instance, my daughter, was late for a job one day because her alarm didn't go off. And she wanted, and I asked her what in the world happened. She blamed that alarm clock, blamed it, you know, like, and I'm trying to explain to her, hey, yeah, your alarm clock didn't go off, but you gotta take responsibility. Well, no. I mean, I set my alarm clock. It's not my fault that it didn't work. But no, it was your fault that you didn't set multiple alarm clocks. You know, it's your fault that you stayed up a little bit too late and kind of overslept, where maybe if you'd have went to bed at an earlier hour, you would have woke up without the alarm clock. Or here's another one. I missed work today because my ride didn't show up. So, you know, you're supposed to go to work in the morning, your car's broke down, you got your buddy, he's going to show up and take you to work, and he don't show up. Well, good. I mean, well, not good, but I understand. Like, so if I asked you, hey, why didn't you come to work today? A lot of you would tell me, well, my buddy didn't show up like he was supposed to. But I'm here, and my contention is, what does that have to do with anything? So maybe that would be okay for Monday. But part of the problem, when you place blame and it's everybody else's fault and you're not taking any responsibility, normally you don't change anything. So what the average person will do is they'll be like, well, your buddy calls you and tells you, oh man, I'm so sorry. I can't believe that I forgot to come get you. I'll come get you tomorrow for sure. And what a lot of people do in life is say, okay, sounds good. Appreciate it, man. Tell their boss, hey, I'm sorry I didn't make it today. I'll be there tomorrow. And then guess what? Your buddy don't show up tomorrow. Now, how many days in a row, if your buddy doesn't show up, is it your buddy's fault? Well, I'm going to tell you, whether you like it or not, it's definitely 1,000% your fault the second day. So if you want to put a little bit of blame on your buddy the first day, fantastic, go for it. But you know what? It's still your fault, because guess what you do? If you got to work at 9, and let's just say that it's a 30-minute drive to work, if you didn't have your buddy picking you up at 8, then that's your fault. You could have had your buddy pick you up at 7:30 or 8, and then guess what? When your buddy didn't show up, you would have had enough time to take an Uber or to make maybe other arrangements. So whose fault was it that you didn't tell your buddy to be over at your house until 8:30 at the last second? That's your fault. But I'll give you the first day. If your buddy doesn't show up the first day, fine, it's his fault. But if you don't show up the second day, it's your fault. And you got to start looking at life like that. You got to take responsibility. My daughter ended up having 3 different alarm clocks. And, you know, like, she learned at an early age, there is no excuse. You don't end up waking up late and not going to work. And, you know, it took her a little bit of time. She's young. I'm not bagging on her. She's so responsible now, super responsible. She just had a baby not too long ago. She's an incredible mom. So if for any reason she's watching this, I want her to know how incredibly proud of her I was. This is when she was a teenager, and it was just a good learning experience. But what I've found, folks, is that there's a lot of you out there at 20, 30, 40, 50 years old that still don't take any responsibility for where you're at in your life. Oh man, you know, it's like the wrong person got elected. This happened, that happened. You know, my business, the job that I was at, the employer went out of business. The employer was whatever. He was cheating on his wife and she sued him, and the business, you know, like 1,000 different reasons why it ain't your fault. But folks, it's your job. Like, literally, I love something my wife sent me today. Let's see if in fact, I'm just going to pull it up so that I don't screw this up. I want to get this right because this is so important. So important. Let me pull this up here. Oh my goodness. And then my wife tried to call me like 14 times and let me know that the sound was off. I love you, babe. Sorry. So let's see if you guys can hear this.
Changing your choosing.
You're not changing, you're choosing.
If you're not changing, you're choosing. If you're not changing, you're choosing. That's a powerful quote. Write that down because it takes a minute to figure out what the hell does it mean. If you're not changing, you're choosing. If you're unhappy with your job, but you've been unhappy with it for a year, you're choosing that job. If you're unhappy with your job, go find a new one. If you're unhappy with your health, but you've been unhappy with it for months or years, you're choosing it. Quit complaining. You're choosing to have your bad health. If you're unhappy with your relationship, change it. And as a Christian, I'm not talking about getting rid of them. Change it. If you're in a relationship and it's not happy, there's reasons for that. And there's things that can be done. Now, if you're not married yet, or if it's because there's spousal, abuse or, infidelity or something major, going on that really warrants, maybe separating from that partner altogether, fine. But if you're not changing, you're choosing. That's the ultimate responsibility. If you're not changing, you're choosing. So if you're complaining about the same thing today that you were complaining about last week, last month, last year, knock it off. Quit complaining and do something about it. My mom is somebody that I have the ultimate respect for. She passed away, man, closing in on 6 years ago now. But my mom changed my life, and she changed my dad's life, and she changed potentially millions of lives, because maybe this channel doesn't exist if she doesn't do what she did. But imagine this. You've got 2 daughters, and you're married to my dad, and he's the breadwinner. You don't have a job. You're a stay-at-home mom. He makes all the money. You've got a beautiful baby boy going to be born in a couple of months. So here you are. You've got 2 daughters that are, I think they were 8 and 5. And then you got me coming along in 2 months. And your husband makes all the money. But your husband is an alcoholic, a bad alcoholic. My dad was an alcoholic. Bad alcoholic. My family, alcoholism runs in the family. My grandfather was an alcoholic. He drank himself into a nursing home. My dad was an alcoholic. He was on the verge of messing up his whole life and having nothing to show for it. And my mom, with no way to support herself, tells my dad, if you don't quit drinking, you got to get out. Talk about changing something that she wasn't willing to put up with, or that she didn't like. She made this ultimatum to my dad, and I don't know what she would have done. She admitted to me like a few years before she passed away, I don't know what I would have done if your dad hadn't quit drinking. Like, I don't know. I mean, 3 kids, a brand newborn, like how I would have lived, how I would have survived. I don't know. Thank God she never had to find out. I can't imagine what it would have been like living without my dad, or growing up with a dad that was an alcoholic and absent, and my mom having to try to work 2 or 3 jobs to provide for us kids. But anyways, my dad quit drinking. He quit drinking 2 months. So full transparency, he left. When she told him to either quit drinking or get out, he left. But after a couple days, he decided that he did have a drinking problem, and he didn't want to be gone, and he didn't want to not be a part of this little guy's life that was getting ready to be born. And I thank God that he made that decision. But the fact of the matter is, if my mom hadn't been willing to change instead of choosing, everything could be different in our lives. You might not even know who I am. All because a woman made a stand. She was not willing to put up with this anymore, no matter what the consequences were. Guys, you got to quit worrying about the consequences. I hate my boss. If I quit my job, how am I going to pay my bills? Folks, how many of you have had 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 jobs in your life? I got news for you. If you quit your job, you're going to find another one. Just like you found this one, and the one before it, and the one before it. man, I don't want to be lonely. If this person's not the right person for me and I break up with them, what happens? What happens if I don't find another person? At least this person, even though they're a long ways from perfect and I'm not I'm not really happy, at least I have somebody. Folks, you're going to find another person. If you're not changing, you're choosing. I thank you so much, babe. If you're still watching this show today, thank you so much for sending that to me this morning, because that's one of the most powerful one-sentence lines that I've heard in a long, long time. If you're not changing, you're choosing. How simple, yet powerful, 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 guys. Anyways, I love you guys. I hope you got something out of being here today. It was good for me. And I love that, if you're not changing, you're choosing applies to so many things in my life. So once again, I was talking to myself a lot of today, and you guys just got to hear me, yelling at myself. But I appreciate you being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And real quick, let me run over here to StreamYard giveaway. And we're going to do something a little bit different. I appreciate all of you that have been throwing the hashtag season in there. But, well, here, so I know I want to get out of here, but I want to share something here real quick with you guys. So we're going to do the giveaway a little bit different today. I'm just going to be doing a $25 giveaway to one person. But, folks, last week, my BYDFI account got shut down, and I was really frustrated about it. And some of you that are watching this video today, you got my BYDFI account shut down. So I'll take responsibility. I'm the one that put it in place and allowed for it to happen. But so many of you, told me, man, you got bots. You got people creating multiple YouTube accounts and getting them set up and like trying to scam the promotions. And I believed you guys to a certain extent, but at the same time, like, it's nice to get the engagement. It's nice to have, more people watching. And I like doing the giveaways, but you know why my BYDFI account got shut down? Because a bunch of the $25 winners were all sending the $25 out to the very same address. And so my account got flagged. So number one thing that I want to say is shame on you guys. Shame on you. I don't care if you're living in the poorest country in the world and $25 is like $1 million to you. If you're the type of person that is going to spend your time scamming and stealing, you're stealing. That's what you're doing. If you go out and create 10, 15, 20 YouTube accounts, come in here and hit hashtag season, you're stealing. Plain as day, you're a thief. And I hope you get what's coming to you. At the same time, there's a soft spot in my heart, and I figure, you know what, if life is so bad for you and you're struggling that much, then there's a part of me that actually hopes that 25 helped you a little bit. But we're going to start doing things a little bit differently around here. I'm going to have to start switching things up. So sometimes I'm going to do the giveaway right in the beginning of the stream. Sometimes I'm going to do it at the end. Sometimes I'm going to do it in the middle. But you guys are never going to know when I'm doing it, and you're not going to have the ability to mess with me by saying, hashtag season on 30 different computers on 30 different accounts. And I apologize to those of you that are watching the channel and doing things legit, that are real people, that are the salt of the earth, and that really are supporting this YouTube channel because you like the content. I apologize to you guys that it has come to this, and I apologize that some of those funds that I've given away over the last month didn't go to the right people. It went to the scammers and the thieves. I do everything that I can to try to keep that and avoid that from happening, but it's crazy. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, so the last week, one of the winners was somebody called AAALEEI. I got a message on Discord from an AAALEEI, and then I got a message on Telegram. I knew that the message on Discord was legit because they were in control of the bio on their YouTube channel. So what's crazy is I sent the money to the right person, and then the second person still messaging me. They had the nerve to try to scam me like this. They come into the DM and they say, "Hey, Brad, my MetaMask, I had problems with it. I had to change my MetaMask address. So please send the 25 to this address now instead." And of course, I just told them, "Hey, I know you're a scammer, get lost." And they immediately, deleted the conversation and left. So the real AAALEEI hopefully wasn't both accounts. I'm hoping that the real one that I paid, I know that I paid the legit one. Whether or not they have created multiple accounts, I don't know. Whether or not they messaged me in Telegram and were trying to scam me twice, I don't know. But my point is, it's like super frustrating. I really don't know how to do these giveaways without basically, without the scammers coming out in full force. So what we are going to do for today, I'm going to pull up my timer here. So I'm going to get this timer set up. And obviously you had to be present to win. So, but I'm going to start a stopwatch here in a second. You can see right now it's set to 0. And I'm going to start this. And this is what you guys are going to type in to be eligible. Going to make it easy so you can do it fast, because I'm literally cutting it off in 30 seconds. So those of you that got a bunch of fake accounts, good luck getting them in. Starting right now, type in #IWin. The timer is going. #IWin. When this thing gets to 30 seconds, I'm shutting it off, and there ain't going to be any more people that can win. #IWin. Why is it not recording them? Taking a little bit of time to record. So I'm going to let you guys go for about another 10 or 15 seconds, trying to see why in the world this thing is not recording the winners. So, all right, here we go. Charlie, you're the last person. So everybody from Charlie and above is in there. Charlie, don't be posting anymore. This is the one right here. Or excuse me, where'd it go? Here we go, Charlie. This is the one right here. Come on, computer. So everybody above here can win. Anybody below cannot win. I'm not sure why this didn't work, but we're gonna do this again. And type this in, #win. Let me get over to this screen too. I realized you guys can't see it. So let's get back over to here. And #win. Why is it not getting driving me crazy? You guys are typing in. Did I say #IWin? I thought I said just #win, but maybe I said I win. Okay, so let's do this one more time. Sorry, guys. Like I say, it's so ridiculous that I even have to go through this. I honestly cannot believe that people are willing to go through this much trouble to win 25 bucks. There we go. So now I'm going to start drawing the winners. When they come up, I'm going to make sure I can see the chat here. I've got this Charlie I win right here, and everybody above him, just so you guys know, the person below him is Scott Acker. The person above him is Maurice. And then this is Charlie here. So I know that Charlie put in I win multiple times. It's going to be the people that are above this Charlie. So it goes Charlie, then Maurice, then Milana, then I gambled, you lost, then Raul, and then Andrew, and so on and so forth. So let's draw a winner. And I wasn't even going to do a winner today, but I decided that I wanted to give the people an opportunity. So John Lopez is right here at 11:06 a.m. He is our winner. Congratulations, John. You are our winner today. So go ahead and so John, do me a favor. Shoot, I'm not sure if we're connected on. Are we connected on Telegram or Discord or anywhere? Because as of right now, I can't send any funds. I can't send any funds through BYDFI anymore as of right now. I'm trying to get my account unlocked and situated. But anyways, if you well, do me a favor, just go to your bio and give me a MetaMask wallet address, and like Binance Smart Chain or Polygon Matic would be preferred if you don't mind, so that the fee is super cheap. But if you go to your bio and let's pull it up here real quick. Should be able to swing this. Yeah, so John, I'm going to pull open your bio so that I've got it sitting here. If you don't mind throwing in I see that you've got your BYDFI account there. I'll get back to that real soon. But anyways, throw in a MetaMask address for me. Let me know whether it's Binance Smart Chain or like Polygon Matic or wherever, and I'll get $25 in USDT or USDC sent over to you very, very soon. So thank you. I'm glad that you won, man. I know that you are legit. I know you're not a bot. I know you don't have multiple accounts because you've been around the channel for a long time. I think we're connected in Telegram and Discord and stuff too. So anyways, folks, with that, thank you all for being here. God bless you all. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And we will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. on the Trader Tuesdays live stream. I'm excited. I think that we're very, very close to potentially bottoming out. Man, there's a lot of people talking about $78,000 to $82,000 Bitcoin, but it really feels like I just don't know that we're going to get there. I think there's too many people waiting to buy if it starts to dip. So it's hard to say for sure, but I think that my trading strategy is really in good shape. I've been checking out a lot of tokens, doing a lot of research for tomorrow. As of tomorrow, I still will probably be showing BYDFI. The guy that I needed to get in touch with to get my account straightened out is working hard on it. So as of right now, they're still a good sponsor of the channel. When it all happened, I was kind of mad at them at first. But then when I realized why my account got flagged and what had happened, then it kind of made more sense to me. So I've softened my stance. I was this close to dropping them as a sponsor and finding a new exchange. But as of right now, it looks like everything's going to work out. So we'll be looking at BYDFI tomorrow and trading on their platform tomorrow. So with that, folks, we will see you at about 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. In the meantime, have an amazing Monday. And once again, thank you for being here. Take care. Bye-bye for now.